welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video, and a slightly different one today because I actually have a guest for today's video. I'm doing a parenting Q&A, and what better guest to have than my partner Ash, because he is on this parenting journey with us. I have had to split this Q&A down into two parts because we did ramble just a little bit, but I hope you find the answers useful. I hope you enjoy watching, and yeah, please remember to like and subscribe. Feel free to ask any more questions in the comments or add your own feedback or your own advice if anybody stumbles across this, if you have any advice that you can give as well, or any advice on the topics that we have spoken about, would be much appreciated. But yeah, so this will be part one, and part two will be coming up in a few days' time, so yeah, enjoy. Okay, question number one. What were your first thoughts when you found out you were expecting a baby girl?
Oh shit.
Was that actually? That's what you wanted?
Yeah, I know, but I nearly fell off the van.
No, when you were expecting a baby girl, that was when you were expecting a baby.
No, I was happy.
I know, that's what you wanted, wasn't it? More than anything. I wouldn't say I was disappointed. Like, you can't sit forward.
No, I can't.
You have to, because it will touch it. It'll make you go quicker. Otherwise you look like a dot in the distance.
That's fine. I look like bloody Casper, the friendly ghost.
I know, I should have put makeup on you. No, I wasn't like, I was happy that I was getting a little girl, but I was so convinced that I was having a boy, wasn't I? So convinced.
Yeah.
Next question. How did you feel the moment you saw her for the first time? Well, you saw her before me, to be fair. I caught the tiniest glimpse of her pissing everywhere.
What did I think the first time I saw her?
Yeah.
What the hell? Because they like all I see was her like come out of view, and it was just like that was the worst time to look over that bit of sheet.
I know, I've looked at the photo that they took like since the full like photo where they're holding her up, and I'm just like, what the what?
Little alien.
Little alien. She always reminds me when I first saw her, because obviously they held her up over the thing and then took her away and you were with her.
Yeah.
Etc. So I didn't see her until they placed her on me.
Yeah.
And I just remember looking at her and thinking it was that character.
Yeah.
What's it called?
What character?
Jeff.
Oh, Walter.
Walter.
The old man.
Walter from the comedian. What's his name? Jeff
Dunham.
Dunham, yeah.
Yeah.
Just thinking that she looked like Walter.
Yeah, I literally see her come from like not quite your belly, but straight up, and it was just like, wow, okay, like fresh.
Yeah, definitely fresh.
Blood the lot.
Blood pissed the lot.
Yeah.
What was the most memorable moment from her birth or the first few days at home?
The most memorable?
Yeah.
Good or bad?
Most memorable. I think for me, I'll go first. Mine was, I woke up the morning after like we'd got home and couldn't find her anywhere. And I remember that ultimate sense of like panic, because whilst I knew that you had her, I was so worried that...
That was when I was asleep on the sofa with her.
And she was tucked in, and I was so panicked.
She's
but it was like
Rose's basket.
I just remember being... Oh, it's a spot. I thought you were bleeding then. I just remember feeling so like panicked because my baby wasn't there. That's my most memorable for the first few days.
First few days? I don't know, because obviously it's different for me.
I know, that's what I'm asking.
Because in a nice way, you had a lot going on. Yeah, for me, like Lidl, that was a classic. Within like what day?
A few hours of leaving hospital. What time did we left hospital at 4:30? Yeah. And we were in Lidl by lunchtime. And then I was on the phone to the hospital in Lidl car park to go so that we could go and pick up the medication that they so-called weren't going to let us leave hospital without.
Yeah, they let us go.
They did eventually.
But yeah, like, I don't know, it's hard to choose one.
I'm surprised you didn't turn around and say either her introduction of Nelly to Nelly, where you laid her on the floor and showed her the Nelly that she was named after.
Yeah.
Or Bry's, because she was only like a week old when we went to Bry's.
Yeah, I think to be fair, be sleeping on the sofa with her, that'd do it for me.
Yeah. Exactly, same thoughts. What were some of the biggest surprises you encountered in the first year of parenthood?
Surprises. Surprises.
Surprises.
How long have we got?
I've got a couple. I think I could probably name 3.
Go on then.
The first is the Punami situation, where it surprised me in the fact that you just can't clear it up. Like, no matter how many...
It reaches new heights.
It reaches new heights, and no matter how many wet wipes, cloths, whatever you have, it just doesn't come off. It's always in, like, the creases or... So, like, that would be my first. That was my first surprise.
I would say I'm not tired, but...
We're parents, we're always tired. My second would probably be... It surprised me that you can see when she's learning something.
Yeah.
Like, you know that she's learning because she's refusing to go to sleep, but it's like you can see it in her face where she's trying to process this new thing that she's learning. Like, It surprised me. The first time I really noticed it was that day when, or that evening when she wouldn't sleep, and I remember it being like 11, 12 o'clock at night, and she saw Paw Patrol for the first time, because I was just going out of my mind. That's how memorable it is. And I remember Paw Patrol was on, and I was just watching her watch the screen, but she wasn't really watching. She was like, in her facial expression, it was as if something, what I now know is she was learning something. But then I just remember feeling panicked, because I remember coming and getting you and saying something's not right with her face.
Yeah.
And then 10 minutes later, she learned how to blow a raspberry.
Yeah.
So that one. And then my third is how quickly things change. Like, you just think, right, I've got it sussed. Like, I've got the routine sussed, or I've got this sussed or that sussed. And then it changes. Like, I thought we were in a routine. And then all of a sudden, like right now, we just have tantrums every 10 minutes, and the whole throwing on the floor or hitting our head on the floor. But she wasn't like that like 5 minutes ago.
And that's just me.
Go on then, that's giving you some ideas.
What? So my most like surprising things?
Biggest surprises you encountered in the first year of parenthood?
How you like naturally do everything. Without any like...
It don't matter how tired you are.
No. Like, that's probably my biggest one. It's just get on the dirt.
Yeah. And how you know to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did surprise me how much of a sense of things you get.
Yeah. And then like as you said, like when she's learning stuff, that sort of thing. It's just surprising actually to watch her, sit back and like watch her and just watch her try and figure stuff out. And yeah.
Yeah.
And then trying to copy stuff I do, which is a pain in the ass.
It is when you swear all the time. Although she has had like melted my heart today, because she's learnt what your dad's been teaching her for months of going, oh, wow, 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 wow. And she's finally... I should have done it to you. She's finally learnt it, and that was actually quite sweet.
Yeah.
But I did worry that she was going to like just sit in her cot and go wow, 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 for hours on end.
And she's got a whole 4 words in her vocabulary.
She does. That is very cute. What did you learn about yourselves as parents in the first year?
What did I learn as parents?
So you're tired?
Surprisingly, how tired you can get.
Yeah. But I don't think it's like
on it.
It's not even just like I remember being tired like from work, or being tired because I'd gone straight from work to the pub and then had a few hours kip and gone back to work kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's like
it's a whole different level of
new level of tired. It's like mentally tired, I think, is what I struggle with.
Yeah.
I
struggle with like the half hour worth of sleep in 2 days, but still go to work.
I know.
And somehow still function even better when I get home from work. That's the bit I don't get.
I've learned that I can't cope if I don't get enough sleep.
I agree.
I think because she's at an age where you can't put her anywhere. Like when it was newborn, or like the early months, it was like it didn't matter if I was up all night because I knew that she was going to nap.
Yeah.
Whereas now, sometimes she just refuses to nap. Or it's a big, like today was a real big fight to get her to nap, and then she napped for an hour.
They're going to think I'm really tired. No, that's my biggest one.
Yeah.
It's just how much you can do whilst you probably shouldn't. I mean, a few years ago, I'd have been asleep for days.
Yeah.
It's not bothering. Whereas now, it's just crack on, don't you?
I know. How many times have we been up and down the motorway in the last few months? When you shouldn't have really been driving, probably because you'd be so exhausted, but you do it because you know it works.
That's all that matters. You do what you got to do.
How? You'll love this question. Oh, no one needs to see in your mouth.
I can't help it.
You'll love this question. How has becoming parents changed your relationship as a couple? You right, roommate? I think that sums it up.
I wouldn't say it's changed too much.
No, I think we fight quite hard to... Not fight, but like we fight quite hard to keep it as it was.
We still have our time.
Yeah.
We still have our own like individual time as best as we can.
Yeah.
Then we have babysitting duties.
Then we have mini meltdowns every so often.
Yeah.
One or the other
have
of
a
us.
good kick and scream.
Why does my head look so big?
I don't know. Probably because you're sat an extra like 2 foot closer to the camera.
Let's get back a bit. There we go.
See.
No, you can't go back because then you look like a little dwarf. You've got to go forward because you've got a little head. I feel like I look like 7 chins. Dad will probably agree when he watches this. Yeah, and so how do you think our relationship? I do think we're quite good at still making time for us.
Yeah. Nothing's really changed.
No, it's just that we don't go out as much, but I think that's more because it's winter and it's cold and miserable. And
the only thing like I find which has changed is the way we channel like time and money and what we do.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's changed. Like
to do something takes more effort as well.
Yeah, like there's a bit of planning more. Like whereas before we could have just gone out, grab like your coat and go.
I think even when she was little, you could still do that because you'd know she'd be happy enough to like lay down in a pram and still go out. Whereas
now
she wants to walk everywhere, but you can't always let her walk everywhere.
And then it's just remembering like weather and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you have to pack for every weather. And,
especially at the minute.
But no, like relationship wise, like nothing's really changed. If anything, we've just grown with it.
I feel like we're stronger. Like we always said like in other Q&As and stuff that we don't really argue, but I don't think we really argue still. I think sometimes one or the other of us will just come out with a bit more of a shitty comment than what we do, but I think that's just our frustrations. And you kind of say something in passing and then have to carry on being a parent.
Yeah. Well, it's just normal.
Yeah, but I still don't think we argue or anything like that, whereas some
we haven't had a good domestic.
No. I mean, I chase you around with a broom every so often, but
that's because you can't fly.
Next question.
Okay.
What were some what were some of the hardest moments or challenges you faced in her first year? I know mine straight away. I know what the hardest thing was.
I'm gonna say
There's 2.
I'm gonna say not sleep regressions because they're normal, and this happened for the last 9 months.
Yeah, you seem to think it's a sleep regression for the last 9 months. I don't think it is. I think it's just the weeks go by so fast. It feels like she's in a sleep.
The hardest. Something like what? What was the question? The hardest thing.
My hair's falling out. That's one of my hardest things. My hair's falling out again.
That's my fault.
Yeah, talking of hair falling out, I got like a bit down here somewhere when I put it out.
That's grey.
Yeah, but look, what's this?
Bloody no. Start growing again.
Thank God it's underneath.
Right, what was the question?
What were some of the hardest moments or challenges you faced in her first year?
some of the hardest.
I know two of my hardest.
Her colic.
That was my
Was a
top one.
nightmare.
I hated that. I remember feeling like
You can't do anything.
it wasn't even so much that. I remember feeling so anxious and so panicked. It was like I didn't want to feed her because I knew that when I fed her, the colic would return.
Yeah.
It was like you knew what was happening.
Mm.
But there was nothing, like you said, there was nothing you could do to stop it.
Mm. And the other one was when we took her into hospital as well.
Which one? Here? The A&E one?
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
See, I didn't find that one too hard, in a sense.
The only bit I didn't like was that they don't tell you anything.
No, they don't. They didn't tell us that they were monitoring how do you say it? Monitoring her.
I'm the one who can't talk.
You've got a runny nose.
I know.
They didn't tell us that they were doing that for like 4 hours or something. We just sat there like lemons, not really knowing what was going on.
Yeah.
Mine, the bit that overshadowed that more, the hardest bit for me was her foot prick test that she had to have done.
Yeah.
The one at Great Western.
Yeah.
You know the one I mean, that looked like someone out of a horror film.
Yeah.
Because
so for the camera, for the people, for like
I've never seen so much blood in all my life.
The hospital didn't do anything wrong there.
No, that's the thing. They didn't do anything wrong. They did everything that they needed to do. Like, I would give birth and have another baby through their system again tomorrow if I could. Like, they were amazing. But they had, I can't even think what the foot prick test was for.
So basically...
Was that just a normal test?
No,
or was
it
that
was to do with her...
Oh, because our blood's mixed, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
and
to
they
do
weren't
with
meant to
that,
mix.
but they couldn't get the blood to flow enough. So instead of using like normal...
Well, they did use normal routes to start with, didn't they?
Yeah, but it didn't do anything.
It didn't prick enough to get enough blood out.
So they basically use what's, in a sense, a scalpel blade. It bleeds. Like, it's like a cut. It bleeds.
It was everywhere.
But yeah.
It was enough blood you would think they'd cut her leg off.
Yeah.
It was horrific.
But such is life.
And then they forgot. The only thing that they did do wrong is the nurse forgot about us. We were sat there for like 2 hours, and then I got mastitis because I haven't been able to pump.
No, I just look like this. This has been a year-long trait of just hanging out my ass. Yeah, I would just like to point that out. Our NHS didn't do anything wrong.
No, they didn't. They did everything right.
Brutal thing.
To be fair, they really looked after her up there, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like, considering she did have issues at the beginning, they did.
Yeah.
They made sure everything was done proper.
They're stretched, bless them.
Yeah. They looked after the babies well. I don't think they looked after the mothers as well. It was like, by that point, it was kind of a bit like, you've done your job.
Yeah.
We don't care anymore.
I don't know, I went home.
You did go home. That's another story. I think that was the make or break moment of us.
I didn't have a bed. Didn't even have a chair.
You ain't having a bed or a chair if we have any more, but you're not going home.
I'm taking my own bloody bed.
You can just get on the bed with me.
No, I left.
I don't care. No one came in to check on me. I could have died in the night.
Yeah, true.
How did you manage to find time for yourselves while being busy parents?
Are we doing the honesty approach with the camera, or are we doing the...
It's a work in
Everything's
progress.
great.
No, it's a work in progress, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we definitely were better at it before we moved. Because everything was contained in the flat.
Yeah, but it was different. Like,
and she was a lot younger.
Yeah, she was easier.
She didn't roll. You could put her on the floor and she'd still be there 5 minutes later. If you put her on the floor, 30 seconds later, you've got... 30 seconds later, you've got to find her. She's probably hidden behind a curtain. She's probably hidden behind a curtain somewhere.
Yeah. Whereas, like, for me, like, back then, work was earlier. Like, I was at home by, like, 1, 2 in the afternoon. I had a few hours to do what I needed to do. Whereas, like, now, I'm home very quickly and it's evening, where time's Nellie's. It's not mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, for
when she, I think, sorry. Carry on.
No, cool.
I was going to say, touching on that, I feel like when she's able to stand, like when she's walking and standing up, etc. I feel I feel like that would take a little bit of the pressure off, in the sense of it would only take one of us to bath her.
Oh God, yeah.
Whereas right now it's hard to hold her up and wash her and whatnot. Whereas at least if you can say just stand up for me,
it'd make
to
it a
wash
lot
her,
easier.
it would make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
I think that's where our biggest bit is too.
But yeah, like, what was the question?
How do you manage to find time for yourselves while being busy parents?
We still do. That's the thing. It's just not as frequent as what it used to be.
And I think it's mind over matter, because I think it's that thing of, you know, you need to take the time for yourself, but
it's having the time to do that.
It's not even having the time, I don't think, but it's doing it so that sometimes other things go on the back burner.
Yeah.
It's like, I think my biggest issue is because can you tell we've had curry tonight? I think my biggest issue is that I'll see stuff that needs doing around the house rather than, like, whether it's cleaning or whatnot, rather than doing something for me that fills my cup.
Yeah, and that's like the other thing as well. Like, as the question says about like how have we changed with having her, but she's not the 100% of the issue in the day. Like, you've got, say, cooking, work, having a shower, doing housework, blah blah blah, doing the bins, washing the car. You know, it's
everything that adds up.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Sleeping's the biggest one for me.
Yeah,
I find
I can't sleep.
Like, well, yeah, you can't sleep. I can sleep very well, but then 6-7 hours of my what could be awake time is spent in bed because I need it for the next day. Like, it's a strange question. That's all. Like, I like it, but it's an iffy one because it's like Nellie's not really the fault of
she's
all
not.
of it. She contributes quite well to taking up a lot of my time.
It's that thing of like, it's parenthood and adulthood.
Yeah,
and it just makes it more.
Yeah.
I think the other issue is as well, I think where it affects you being a parent is because everything that you think you can do as an adult, like, or that you have to do, like chores and food shop and things like that, like, it's so much easier when it's just you. And then you add in a child or a baby, and then everything just takes 10 times as long. Like, the food shop just seems to get longer and longer every week. And
but but no, we still find time. We just do it in a different way to what we used to.
And it's not as regular.
Like, I've always thought about it as a triangle theory of, you've got parenthood, adulthood and childhood, and you can't have all three.
No.
You know, for me to say go out with my camera, I then lose, say, an hour where I could be having a shower, or I could be just doing stuff. It's like, I find I still do everything I used to do, if not more, but I just do it in smaller portions of what I used to do it.
I get what you mean.
It's like the balancing act. And don't waste an opportunity. That's one thing I've learned. Is if you get the chance to do something, just do it, because you never know.
And listen to the wife. What were the biggest joys or moments that made your heart swell with love in the last year? Mine, for me, was watching you pick up Nellie. It was like a Simba moment. Like, pick up Nellie and show her, be like, this is Bryce, this is where the hacks were to. Like, in your eyes, like, I'll say in your eyes, because obviously in terms of aviation we've got very different childhood airfields, but yours was like, this is, it's next door's dogs. I honestly thought someone was being murdered there. That's just giving me a freaking heart attack.
I'm glad that we're doing this video now, because some people might realise with watching this the noise levels we have to put up with every evening.
Jesus. And the white noise has just gone off, but she's still asleep. Christ.
And make sure you
Oh
edit
shit,
that
I
bit.
put the wrong one on. Panic. I put
I was
music
going to
on.
say, make sure you edit that bit out. It might be frowned upon, but
Yeah. Anyway,
the walls
what made
come alive at night.
The walls do come alive. Mind you, the people in this house come alive at night, and it's not the ones that are living. She's watching you. Stop. She'll come and get you if you don't behave.
She would.
Oh, she will. My heart swell. More like I just had a heart attack in my life. Anyway, what I was going to say is, yeah, the moment of you being like, this is the airfield, you know, that was like, I think, one of your one only goals of you had to show her.
Yeah.
Like, and we did it when she was like a week old.
I know.
I think that made my heart swell.
Mine was, it was about 2-3 weeks after you got home. Like, well, you got home, we got home, however you want to put it.
You never not went there.
I went home that night.
I know you went there.
Later. And you had her in the bed and was led like awake, but she was asleep, and that was the biggest one for me, because it was just like,
oh, like that's your family.
Yeah, sort of thing.
You hated sharing a bed with me in those early days.
But there's been loads. That's the thing. Like, it's another one of the questions. Like, over the last year, there's been loads.
I think another one was when she first properly laughed.
Yeah, when
like
she
there's
laughed.
nothing like, and that first smile.
Yeah. You know, there's been loads. I mean, even like the silly things, like her on the sand at Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Like, or Western. It was just like.
And her at Monkey World when that monkey came up to her, but then, like, the monkey looked really sad because he realised that Nelly had 2 arms and he only had one. The look on his face.
Yeah.
And Nelly was just there like, hello.
Yeah, but no, there's been loads. That's the thing. Like Riot as well. Like for me, Riot's a massive one.
Riot was a good one.
And then running in the caravan and block her ears and nearly breaking my neck.
It's all the bits that I never caught on camera, which I'm really hoping, because I've now hopefully got the backup one if I don't lose it again. I didn't even say anything about that.
That noise was the other side.
That was the other side if it picked it up. But yeah, hopefully, like, I really want to just be able to leave it running and just capture like the glimpses of the bits that you don't normally see, because to a lot of people it looks like you just sit in a field and wait and it looks really boring, but there's so many things that, like the conversations you have,
hit me in the stomach,
or the drunken swing ball,
or the neck.
just like all the things that you don't normally see.
That's the thing. It's all the things that you don't put on the video.
Yeah. But it's normally because you're having such a good time that you don't.
Yeah, you don't think of it.
No. And like I always remember a few years ago at Rio, there was a man that had a GoPro, and he had it on like a little bit of a stick, and he held it like height level, and as he was walking and looking around, he was just filming, walking up and down, and I was like, it's things like that.
Yeah.
Like, because there's so many funny things that happen, or like, where were we to? The White Horse military show.
Yeah.
Like when those men were going around, there was 4 men, and I think I caught like the tiniest glimpse of it on camera, but they went round in different fancy dress, didn't they? One was like the Grenadier Guards, they were going around in these blow up outfits. Then it was like the Red Baron.
Yeah, and like the sumo people.
The sumo people, and like just things like that, all the things that I'm enjoying too much that I forget to film.
Yeah, you forget to film it.
Yeah.
Go on then, what's the next one? Come on.
What did you find most rewarding about watching Nelly grow during the first year?
Oh, most rewarding? Well, I'm still learning how to go and get me a beer from the fridge.
We ain't got any in the fridge.
You can't reach the fridge.
They're in the garden. We have a full-on bar in the garden.
Most rewarding? I think all of it. All the first, like her first sitting up, her first crawling. Like clapping.
Clapping's cute. She does it now every time she does something, she claps to be like, well done.
Yeah.
She, like earlier on, she was putting the, in the shape sorter, because she can't quite do the shape sorter bit yet. but she picks up the bits and puts them in the bucket.
Yeah.
And then after each one looks at you and claps, and that's quite.
And then the other thing, the most rewarding thing, is the 1 year review thing with her.
What, when they said she was doing well?
Yeah, because it's like she's not dead.
Yeah.
We're doing good.
I just think, like, as well, like, touching on that subject, it was like when it had been like the first day and then the first week and then the first month, we were like, we've kept her. I remember sitting at the table having like a roast dinner, and we turned around to each other and we're like, we've kept her we've kept her alive for a whole week, or things like that. And like at her birthday, we were like, we've managed a whole year.
Yeah. But that's the thing, because when they let you go from hospital, that's it.
That's the thing. When they say that they don't come with a manual, like the only thing I had from the hospital, like I gave birth and then was expected to know how to look after and care for a baby. I'd never even changed a nappy.
Yeah.
Like I'd never held a baby that small.
No.
It's just kind of assumed that you know what to do and get on with it.
You kind of do that. It's weird.
Yeah, I think you do, but I think it still gives that sense of panic.
Oh God, yeah.
Because like back in the day, you used to have.
It's like when they first follow through. Panic.
Yeah, that was on you, thankfully. But it's like back in the day, they used to do things like parent craft and stuff like that, or antenatal classes and stuff. But like where we were to, they didn't do any of that. I had like a little website that I could go on that basically told me what would happen during labour. You've got to lean forward.
Oh, I can't. It's hurt my back.
You'll get over it.
No, I haven't. This is the problem. I fell over and hit the step, and I haven't got over it. It's my thing again.
Oh, well, you should have chose a job that wasn't so dangerous.
It wasn't dangerous. I slipped. Landing on my ass.
Yeah. So, like, there is no manual.
No, there's definitely no manual.
And it's hard.
Yeah, it is hard. Anyone who says it's easy.
I think Nelly is an easy baby.
They're not there.
That's the thing, and I'll always maintain that. I think Nelly is an easy baby,
We've been lucky.
but the actual journey itself is hard.
Yeah.
Next question. What was the most special milestone or first that you'll never forget?
First milestone or first?
Special milestone or first whatever that you'll never forget.
Bringing her home. Because I actually felt better for bringing her home than staying in the hospital.
Yeah, I mean in a nice way. It was that bad that we came home at 4:30 in the morning. I still don't quite understand how the 24 hours worked.
I
don't understand that because I gave birth like in the evening, but I wasn't allowed to leave until the early hours of the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that one. Bringing her home. Like literally walking in the door with her was just like the one. And then just silly stuff, in a way. Like for me, it's been like silly milestones, like air show, swimming. You know, like
first swim was amazing because that was when we were on holiday.
Yeah, it's like all them silly things of like the first things are the ones that stick with me. I haven't got like a most memorable. They're all memories. You know?
I think my most memorable first. But it's not like your typical first.
Or her holding my finger.
That was cute.
You know,
that was very cute.
It's the stuff that doesn't leave you.
Yeah, my most memorable first is a bit of a funny one, I guess you could say. But it was the first element of it is when we gave her gripe water for the first time.
Yeah.
The like results 20 seconds later.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever forget. And that's apparently quite a normal reaction to their tummies to explode everywhere.
Pumping out.
But yeah, I think that.
Yeah.
Another first as well, or like milestone or whatnot, although it's always been a bit of a touchy subject between the two, but it was when Trix met Nelly.
Yeah.
Like when she came in and Nelly was in the high chair and whatnot, and she was sniffing and she just wanted to sit and look at her.
Yeah.
In the days before she'd bark.
Yeah.
And bark and bark.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite memory of her smiling or laughing that still makes you smile? I do.
I got loads of her smiling
Yeah.
because I can make her smile when I walk in the door because I'm not here.
Yeah, she does a little happy dance.
Yeah.
When you walk in from work, whereas she doesn't do that for me because she's bored of me.
Yeah.
Although she did scream for me earlier. I could hear her in the, when I was in the kitchen. She was going, "Mama, mama."
Yeah.
Mine is the little like dance that you do coming towards me, and then I tickle her.
Oh god. Yeah.
Like the laugh that she does, and I've never been able to catch it on camera because obviously both our hands are busy.
It's like a cackle, isn't it?
But it's such a She gets so thingy with it.
I miss a smile where she was a bit like she didn't know I would say that she was doing it, but you'd say something witty, she would just sort of go.
That smile,
like the sassy one.
Yeah, the sassy smile.
Yes.
And I think the other bit that is really memorable for me, again going back to Ria, was by the end of Ria, because we'd gone round and got the signatures in her book for her as a like keepsake of her first Ria, and by the end of that day, the fact that it was like she knew that it was a pilot or an aircrew, and she'd just do this sassy smile, and they'd all be like melting, especially all the German crews.
Yeah.
Like they absolutely adored her, but she just had this smile that everyone was like putty in her hand. Yeah, but she just knew to put it on. She could be crying and screaming, and then she'd see this aircrew and just do this big grin.
Yeah.
What's the cutest thing she did this year that made you laugh or melt with love?
When she fell over at Bournemouth.
I'll have to see if I can find the photo to put
That sounds really savage, but she didn't really fall over. She was sat and she just sort of...
She just toppled.
She sort of toppled over, but...
Oh, I hope I can find that photo to insert it, because yeah, that is a moment. It's just like she toppled.
Yeah, she just... It was like her hands were out on her legs and she just went.
She just fully went, didn't she? But she didn't phase the fact that she had a mouthful of grass.
Dow boy in the bar, that's what it was like. She just went down.
Yeah,
I think that has probably been the time where I've just thought, you're your mother's daughter.
I've forgotten mine now. Oh, mine was when she said "mama," which was only last week, to be fair. But
she said apple before.
I know she said apple, but she hadn't said dada. She said dada like as a babble when she was like 7 months old.
Now she just says no.
She says no every time you say dada. No. Yeah, it was definitely, for me, it would be when she said mama. It's the way she says it. It's so cute. Which moment or experience do you wish you could relive again from this first year? I know what I would say.
Oh, God, then this would be interesting.
Your paternity leave.
Yeah.
I wish I'd done things differently.
Yeah.
Because I filmed the my 5 favourite products earlier today, in which I said I wish I'd done the Milton steriliser sooner.
Yeah.
And like, I wish I'd done that from the start.
Yeah.
So then it wouldn't, because I just remember standing in the kitchen being like, I'm the one that's expressing, and then I'm washing bottles and sterilising bottles, and I didn't feel like I was necessarily in the moment of a newborn stage. But I think at the same time I had a lot going on with like Nan and stuff. Yeah. That it made it more difficult. I felt like I was there, but I wasn't. Yeah.
What was the question?
Is there a moment or experience do you wish you could relive again? Yeah. Yeah, I wish I could relive that.
Yeah, my maternity definitely, but I'm not going to dig into the politics of it all too much. But
no, but he did it wrong and he did it illegally. But it's too late now.
No, I wasn't even going to go on that. I was just going to say that I think higher powers need to realise the real world in 2 weeks. 2 weeks doesn't cut it. Not when you've got a chance of being like induced, because that was a week.
Yeah, but that's where your boss did it wrong, because he wasn't allowed to start your paternity until the day of the baby's birth.
Yeah.
The rest of it should have been unpaid or at his discretion to pay you. But that's the thing, like legally he shouldn't have done what he did.
No. But
that's the thing, but it is what it is now. There's a lot of things that he did that you shouldn't have.
Very true.
What was your moment of experience? Just that one, or was there another one?
No, that's pretty much it. It's all been an experience.
I think I'd love to relive our first holiday.
Well, we are
with Nelly. No, but like as like to go back in time and relive it. I mean. But yeah, like just in terms of like that bit aside, the actual just the enjoyment of the whole thing. That's somebody next door choking. They're not in this room. You look frightened like they're in this room.
He's taking the best.
No, they've just caught the cold because the walls are that thin. The enjoyment that we had, like that moment when we turned up and then unloaded.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah. To be fair,
because effectively it was our first holiday, although we did like a weekend away.
Yeah.
That was our first like stretch as a couple as well as a family.
Yeah, and it was good because I'd worked solidly from like Nelly being a week old till then.
Yeah.
Like literally, I think I had Saturday afternoons and Sundays.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I was at work silly hours, you may as well say.
Yeah.
Absolutely silly
I think
hours.
it was hard on both of us as well, wasn't it? To be fair, because you were always at work and in a nice way I was trying to cope with a colicky baby, so I think it was just that coming together moment.
Yeah, it was just nice to have a week to actually understand
your
her,
daughter. Yeah.
Which I did.
I did say that at the beginning, like you'll get to understand, because you couldn't understand any of her little cues and things like that.
Yeah.
Until that moment.
And now I'm back to square one.
I can't understand her these days because there's no rhyme or reason.
Nope.
What was her first word or sound, and how did you react?
Asshole.
Yeah, her first word was asshole, and I cried with laughter.
It was your fault.
I know it was my fault. That's all right. I taught her to say asshole, and Mum taught her to say oh poo. Yeah.
And I'm not going into what I taught her.
No, we won't say what you did. I think I generally would get banned. What's one of the sweetest moments you've shared as a family?
What, last year? 6 months, 3 months?
Like since Nanny's been here.
Sweetest moment as a family. I'm just going to refuse to put my finger on one because I can't.
I would say the winter light trail that we did, the illumination one, where Nelly and Trix actually were okay. Because Trix was very mellow because it was only a couple months after her attack, and Nelly was somehow well behaved, and I don't know. Yeah. I think that was the last time that she really was actually well behaved in Trix's company. Yeah. I for that photo, like the way that like Trix is just looking at Nelly and Nelly's looking at Trix and we're smiling for the photo, and like it was just bliss for 10 seconds. Oh. Yeah. That would be mine.
See, I would say
put some cushions behind you if you've got to lean back slightly. Okay.
What's better?
Yeah, like, then you're not quite as.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. To be fair, it's a hard one because there's been that many. Like that's the thing.
I think mine is always when
we're quite active.
Yeah, we are. I think mine is always very much when Trix and Nelly actually get on. Yeah. And aren't winding each other up and aren't causing grief somewhere along the line. Yeah. Because it's the same as Trix's birthday, like the photo that we had with Nelly. Yeah. Like that was good, and like Burnham on Sea when we took and had like the photo of all of us. We were kind of like staged. Yeah. Like there was like Nelly, Trix. Yeah. The rest of us like going back so that we could all get in the photo without anyone falling out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably say they're moments.
Yeah.
My favourite.
Hey, yeah.
I can't see now for your dungarees, they're in the way.
Alright, stress head. Alright, you feel better for that?
Little Miss Attitude.